Now the next step would be to attach the likes of this, which is the braid mount, onto your hook to create the overall mount. So I'm going to start off with just a double hook. I think it's a size 6 double hook. I'm going to try to do this without the vise. It won't be the neatest of finishes, but you'll get the idea. So just bind on. It's quite important to create a base of thread, quite simply because you're going to put the braid on top of the thread, and then you're going to put some more thread on top of the braid to finish off with. So you're going to sandwich the braid, and because of the properties of the braid, we're going to super glue, and because of the properties of the braid and the thread, it's all going to gel and bond together, so it's going to create an indestructible mount. It really is. Okay, so just take your thread down toward the back end of the fly, and then we actually tie on a bit of the shrink tubing. That helps just create a stronger mount, a stronger bond between the shrink tubing and this hook at the tail end. So just measure it up to how much you want it protruding beyond the front hook, but also make sure the hook actually runs straight down the middle of the other hook, so everything is in line essentially. So that looks perfect. So then you change hands, pinch and loop, and then tie down. And after you've done a few touching turns, there you go, just make sure that everything's riding. At this point you can manipulate it pretty well, you can slide it around. That's actually perfect there. Just going to tie that down, securing everything back there. Take the thread up and pulling it down pretty hard, just make sure that everything is bonding. You just rotate that, you can see it's all just flowing down to the center, which is perfect. What you do then is, when you get to the end of your shrink tubing, which is just there, you then take these tag ends, and this is imperative. You find a lot of the shot bought flies won't actually double. A lot of the time, well, actually the majority of the time, they'll be tied with nylon. And what they won't do, they'll skip a step. They actually won't take the tag ends back through. They only need to take one, but they don't bother to do either. They don't take the tag ends back through the eye of the hook. Now it's imperative to do that, because otherwise, especially with nylon, it will draw out, and I have seen it draw out on a couple of occasions. So if you are buying any secret weapon mounts or secret weapon flies or jambo flies, make sure that the ones you've bought do actually have the nylon doubling through, because if not, if you hook a fish of a lifetime, there's only one thing that's going to happen, unfortunately. And again, that's the great thing about the braid as well, is that it creates, because of the properties of it, it actually soaks in the super glue and creates a better mount. So I'm just going to double that back through, like so, and then tie it down. Now the other added benefit of the braid is that it creates a very small head, where if you're using normal amnesia or whatever at that point, you would have a very bulky head at that point. So again, just the properties of the braid lends itself perfectly to these, but before utilizing the shrink tubing, you would not have been able to, because the braid would have remained too flexible in that mount. So then turn the fly over, cut off those tag ends. Again, better done with braid scissors, not with what I'm using here. There you go. Just take it all the way down to the back end of the fly, just tidy that up. So you can tie the mounts to this point in batches. Just going to do a quick whip finish there. So you can tie it to that point, but that's what you need to do then is, like I was saying about the properties of the braid, you then need to super glue at this point. I like using just waterproof super glue basically, and just put it all the way down, all the way around the mount, and that's just going to soak in through the thread into the braid and help marry it as one. Now if you're going to bother doing these, you might as well do them properly, and that is the way to do them properly. There you go. So that creates an indestructible mount. You've got fantastic kind of maneuverability of the trailing hook, so it's not going to lever itself out. And that to me is a very quick and efficient way of creating your mounts. So hopefully you'll find a bit of inspiration in that and try it out for yourself.